Hey, Zach.
Hey, Mitch.
You still want to do the missing recording tonight?
Sounds great. Have you parked yet?
Yeah, I just parked.
Solid. All right. I still got a couple of things I got to work on, but give me a knock when you're all set.
Okay, I'll give you a knock.
Solid. All right. See you in a bit. All right. I think.
All right, Zach. I'm at your door. I'm just going to give you a knock, okay? Hey! Let go! No!
Hey, Jess. I just gotta have you go inside really, really quick for me. All right? All right, puppy. Come on. Come on. In. Come on, Jess. In. Good boy. All right. I'll be right back. Mitch?
Hi, friends! I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.
Presenting you a little movie podcast starring Zach and Mitch.
Mitch, I think we're doing a podcast.
But something's missing.
What do you think?
What movie are we doing?
I don't know. You're right. It just feels like something's off.
Something's missing.
Wait. I think we're reviewing Missing, right?
We are reviewing Missing.
Okay. That's okay. Sorry. I don't good at self hit it.
No. So, it's a spiritual sequel to Searching.
Mm-hmm. Well, almost a direct.
It's close, yeah.
It's a direct sequel because we open with it.
Oh, we do, don't we?
We open with it.
We do, that's right.
Mhm.
Minor spoiler there.
Minor
Zach.
spoiler,
Yeah.
but it's true.
All right. But Missing is brought to you by Sony Pictures, directed by Nicholas D. Johnson and Will Merrick, first-time directors, by the way, and they also wrote it.
Yeah.
They wrote the screenplay.
Uh-huh.
What'd you think?
It's actually, I thought as first-time directors, this is a really good project to start with, and they did pretty well, especially when you have a little minor spoiler as well. Again, an updated or a really talented cast as well, especially in your lead. That also helps, but they did a really good job. They also edited the previous Searching, so which I feel like it helped them in their directing because they knew what they were getting into. So I think they actually did a really good job, and it still kind of feels a little indie filmish, but still really good. What did you think of them?
No, you hit the nail right on the head with all the points. They were solid. They had that nice level of suspense. They had that nice level of thriller aspect of it, and they had both me and you in, like, there were bits in the film where I looked at you and we both had the same reaction multiple times. So, and that is extremely hard to do because he and I, we don't really react to films all that easy. He does more than me, but when both of us react to certain qualities of a film, the directors and screenwriters did their job.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so summary. After her mother goes missing, a young woman tries to find her from home using tools available to her online.
Thank you, IMDb.
Thank you, IMDb. Mr. Zach,
Yes.
would you like to split up the episode?
Absolutely. So, for us new friends on Excellent Little Movie Podcast, hello, welcome everybody. We split up our episodes into 3 parts. Our non-spoiler section where we talk about cast, we talk about little non-spoilery things. Then we give our review, which Mitch will go ahead and break down how we review things here. And then we'll go ahead and move into our spoiler section where we talk about just our little bit of extra juicy details, if I can keep my mouth shut throughout the rest of this film. But that being said, Mitch, what are your first thoughts on our new film, Missing?
So, this January has got some good films, and this is one of them. I really, really enjoyed it. I was expecting something completely different than what I got.
Okay.
And I have to give a lot of credit to, like you said, the cast and the directing and screenwriting duo. And I mentioned this in the introduction. It is extremely difficult for both me and you to get humongous reactions. And like I mentioned before, he and I had the same reactions multiple times in this film, which is extremely hard to do. The film had a good plot, It had some very suspenseful aspects to it, and I just really, really enjoyed it. Zach, what'd you think?
Yeah, you also hit the nail on the head on this one. It was really well crafted, really well done, pretty well paced. It's very hard to catch me and you off guard on especially suspense thrillers because since me and you both have a little bit of an acting background,
Yes.
we see things a little bit easier. Like, okay, they're going to be doing this. Oh, there's a freaking gun, so of course it's going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we both have those acting thoughts kind of going through our heads throughout. This one was hard to kind of keep track of things in a good way, not in a bad way, like in a good way.
I will severely nod my head to that statement.
Yeah, it's quite a wild ride. That is definitely how I can interpret my first thoughts of this film.
Oh, for sure. All right, it's time for some cast performances.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes. Well, there's only one person we really can start with.
It's Storm Reed as Junebug.
Yeah, as June. She is literally on screen 90% of the film.
I'm going to say more than 90%. 94.
Like 94, 95. She's basically like, if this, like, there are two things that needed to work for a type of film like this.
You need a solid star.
You need a solid star and you need a solid script. And it really helps when you have a solid star like
she
Storm.
did so well in this film. Because here's the thing. Throughout the film, she's talking to a computer screen.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's all it is.
She's talking to a screen. You know how hard that is? I mean,
Incredibly.
well, we're talking to a camera.
Yeah. Well, hi everybody.
Hi.
We all know you exist. Don't worry.
Yeah, we love you. But yes, we are talking to each other, but we're looking at a device.
Yeah.
We know you're there, but we're talking to a device. It's almost the same thing. She's talking to a device. She knows people are there, but how do you react? But in her case, she has to play off of other people that aren't there.
Sure.
So I gotta give her very great acting chops for that.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of her?
Yeah. She really hit it out of the park for this. Is it like is she going to be nominated for Best Actress of the Year?
No.
No, she won't. But it's quite a huge feat of acting to do this. Mm-hmm. And you see her progress in terms of just depression, tiredness, of like an exhaustion of just going through the missing persons process of having to take things into her own hands. Mm-hmm. You buy every single emotion that she goes through. She genuinely does such an amazing job of taking us through this story because she's almost a pseudo-narrator with how much she has to be on screen.
Oh, absolutely.
And she does such a wonderful job.
Yeah, and the next cast member is Nia Long as her mom, Grace.
Yeah.
She was fine.
She was fine.
Yeah, I mean, not like...
It's kind of hard to talk about a missing person in a film about
because
missing.
there'd be a lot of spoilers.
Because it would, but...
She was fine.
She did her job. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit in the spoiler section, but there is a couple of moments where I just felt like I needed a little more from her.
I will agree.
Especially, like, you understand what kind of went through this character's mind and everything, and once everything's pieced together, you kind of understand things.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of wanted a little more from her as an actress in some areas. But I can't really talk too much about it because then it really gets into our spoilery section.
Yeah, but one other actor, and it's the last one on our list, that I really want to talk about is Joaquim de Almeida as Javi.
I loved him.
He's great. He was such a perfect example of an unknown actor. And English is not, I'm sure, is not his first language, but he does it beautifully.
Yeah, he really does a good job with this role. He brings levity to a little bit, but he also brings a lot of heart to it.
Oh, absolutely.
is a character that you wouldn't expect to be in the film as much as he is, but you understand why he is as it goes through. And he's just such a wonderful, treasured part. And I'm not going to lie, he's actually very much needed for this story.
Oh, absolutely. And we really can't talk about that because,
Spoilers.
All right, so there's our cast. Thank you so much for joining us for that. Our next round of non-spoilerly things. Very twisty.
Yeah, there are a lot of twisty things here.
But we can't talk about them.
We can't talk about it, but especially as you kind of get into the second act and the third act.
I would say second.
Especially the second act, there's a lot of twists and turns that go through.
So we're just preparing you for it.
It can be a little jarring at one point, and I'm not going to lie, the big reveal that kind of happens in the third act, I feel like the reviewer Jeremy Johns put it kind of best. You might feel like it jumps the shark a little bit with like, okay, that's a little hard to believe, but give it a second.
Yeah, like really, like don't go assuming things.
Yeah, just give it a second.
Yeah,
they do a genuinely good job of explaining. There is a little bit of like, what was that little bit? But like,
just give it a minute.
Give it just a little bit, and it will all make sense.
Yeah, but we're just preparing you. There's a lot of twists, so just be on the edge of your seat, I would say.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not gonna be hard. You will be on the edge of your seat for this movie.
Now, here's a question I think Zach and I will disagree on. Is it as good as Searching? I say it's better.
I'm a little torn.
Okay.
In terms, they definitely learned from things in Searching. Like
Searching was a good movie.
Searching was a really good movie. I went into Searching thinking it wasn't gonna be like terrible, but I thought it was gonna be like mediocre.
Because it was a January film.
It was a January film as well, I believe. But I really wasn't going into Searching all that positive, but came out really liking it out of that. But Missing really learned from a lot of its pacing mistakes that I feel like it had. There was a lot of issues I felt like they had pacing-wise. I felt the actor was really, really great. I really love him as an actor. He actually did really well.
Yeah.
But there were some just parts in the script that it just wasn't really gelling all that well. That I think that Missing learned from. However, I feel like there was a little bit more of a feeling of helplessness in Searching than Missing that I kind of missed from Missing.
Sure.
I felt like the helplessness of Searching added to a little bit more of the time crunch for Missing.
Sure.
Because there was more of a ticking time clock, and they made that a bigger like story point.
Sure.
Where Missing, it was like it was there because you like the first 72 hours of a missing person is important.
Sure.
But like it was just that aspect I was just kind of longing for in this one.
Okay, that makes sense. No,
I really don't have an answer for whether or not which one is better or not.
And you don't need to have an answer. Hell, we could be doing this podcast for 10 years and you still don't need that answer.
I'm such an indecisive jerk.
It's fine. So am I. But
let's be decisive now.
Yeah,
let's give it a
time.
review. Could you go ahead and give us how we exactly review things here on Little Movie Podcast?
Yes, I can. So here on Little Movie Podcast, if you are new, welcome in. So we have 3 categories and 2 phantom categories.
We'll leave those phantom categories for later.
Let me
talk.
Shh, quiet, or you will go missing.
That's terrifying.
Okay, so our worst category, well not worst, but it's still bad, is we feed it to the dog Jazz who's resting, meaning we did not enjoy the film, but we still recommend that you see it and form your own opinion, whether it's in the theater, if you wait till streaming, whatever.
Yeah.
Next category is needs to cook a little more, meaning it was okay. We didn't really hate it. We didn't love it. The film was kind of meh. And we felt it may have needed an actor change, a script change, a director change, or anything to make the film get to that next category, which is eat it up. meaning we enjoyed the heck out of this movie. We definitely recommend you see it in theaters, but if you have to wait to streaming, you'll wait till streaming, that's fine. Okay, I split it up. So, Zach, pre-wish.
Yeah.
What did you think of Missing?
Solid eat it up.
I'm not going to waste my time. I also is a solid eat it up.
It's a solid eat it up.
Oh, sure.
Here's the thing. I do want to preface that too. It's a really great niche bit of film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really great new addition for horror and thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Please do not make this the new found footage.
Yeah.
I do not need 5 of these films coming out a year.
Kind of like paranormal activity.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's also... This is like the 3rd film that I've... Well, actually, it was technically like the 4th, because there was a film way back in 2014. It was called Unfriended.
Yeah.
That movie was intense.
That was intense.
But that had a little more style of paranormal activity, whereas this one, it actually brings in real people and real world, I don't want to say real world situations, but something like this. I would rather believe this than something where Unfriended, where someone kills themselves and their ghost comes back.
It's more realistic horror.
Correct. That's why I think I would consider this. I would rather see this kind of like more sequels instead of like what we've been getting with Paranormal Activity.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I feel that.
Okay. All right, my friends. So you've heard the review. Give us one of these. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell.
Ding.
Leave a comment. Or
Tap.
if you want to get real close and personal, email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com. Okay, now on that note, it's time, but if you need to leave, you better leave now because Zach, sound that alarm.
Bing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Bing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Hello? Oh,
You're gonna die in 3 days.
it's 7.
I'm quickening up the timeline because we need to get to the spoiler section.
Yes, we do. All right, my friends, it's time for some spoilers. We only really have one because I feel like if we tell you all, you won't see the movie.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk about the big, like, major...
yeah, the big twist.
The big twist. There's a lot of them in here, but we'll go ahead and talk about the big twist. So again, if you want to leave, this is going to be your time. But, Mitch, what did you think of what could have been the jump the shark moment of the dad's not dead?
Yeah, so can we say kind of how the...
Yeah, we can kind of lead up. Yeah, what?
So June's dad is supposed to be dead of a brain tumor.
Correct.
However, he is not, and you find that out in the 3rd act.
Yeah.
And he is the mastermind of what has been transpiring throughout the film. What transpires, we're not going to say because we want you to see it.
Yeah.
And also, really, it's going to ruin the real stuff for
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
But what transpires is he is the mastermind of everything, and he is alive, and he wants June because he hasn't seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't end well for him.
No, it definitely doesn't. I mean, it was spoiled. He dies.
Yeah, he dies.
He dies.
Very bad too.
Oh yeah, really, really hard. But yeah, when it was first revealed, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is a bit much.
Uh-huh.
Like, it did take me out of the film a little bit when that was revealed. I was like, all right, how you gonna explain this?
Mm-hmm. But after it's explained,
Yeah, the fact that like it was they're under witness protection, that that he was abusive and he went to jail, so that's why her mom had to change her name.
yeah, for it was abuse. It was for abuse,
Domestic abuse, yeah.
and drug
Possession, yeah.
Yeah, and
So like it makes sense.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I do buy it. So, but the initial reaction of me was like,
his reaction was nah.
nah.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Yeah,
he
I was
said,
like, nah.
Yeah.
It was a little louder in the theater than I should have.
Speaking
but like,
of the theater, this was a Thursday night in January, and the theater we were in was dine-in, so not that many seats.
Not that many.
It was packed, and the first time we've ever heard applause after Nicole Kidman's AMC theaters. That is a perfect one to end on, my friends.
But it's fine. But you know what? It was genuinely it was a fun day at the movies, and
Yeah.
it was a fun movie to begin with. So
All right,
thank you guys for joining us for Little Movie Podcast. Make sure you do give us a like or a comment.
Or subscribe.
Push that subscribe button or that notification bell so you know exactly what's happening.
Or if you want to get up close and personal.
Dude, take me on a date first if that's what you're gonna do.
Email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com. But until next time, friends,
I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.